As many of you guys know, over the past week, the stock market has taken a massive plummet. On top of that, the commodities market is also looking like it could be close to a local top. Now, in today's video, guys, we're going to look into a lot of key charts. We're going to find out if Bitcoin is decoupling from traditional markets. Before we get into that, make sure you are subscribed. Now, guys, we'll start with the chart. We're going to end with the chart as well. We've got some bits in between it. But if you look at the Bitcoin price action right now, we're still carrying out this larger breakdown. We had a massive rising wedge on this is a 30-minute chart, but even if you go to the daily chart, guys, you're going to see that we formed a rising wedge over the space of a couple of weeks or so, and we still are looking to break down, guys. Now, we had a lot of the tariff news on this massive wick here. We didn't close outside of this larger structure, so technically we still are making our way down to 79k, which I do believe a lot of people and a lot of algos will be putting max bids on. Okay, so we still do have another, I think it's about 3% or so, nearly 3.5% from today's time of recording to the lower area of the target zone, guys, and that's still going to be technically a higher low when you do compare it to this previous low, right? So we have a low, and we have a higher low, and then maybe we do have a breakout, and somewhere up here around 84k we could have some sort of retest of this larger structure. Now, a lot of people were losing their minds over the correction that's happened in the market, and a lot of news was flowing around saying it's the worst crash of all time, and President Trump has made the worst start to inauguration, blah blah blah. However, if you listen to social media, then you'd be thinking this is super crazy, never happened before. But if you do some deeper inspection, guys, I mean, COVID crash 33%, Biden administration, even though it was over the course of a year, this downtrend, still 26%. We've just started very harsh, okay, when you do compare it to the previous two. Now, when you do look at the COVID dump, everybody looks back at this COVID time and they say, man, I wish I just bought down here. Why didn't I buy down here? And now the markets are presenting you another opportunity. The only difference is people tried to front run this, and they did buy around 5.6k, and then it crashed a further 10% the following day after we had record number of retail investors buying into the market. Now, on top of this, you're seeing the gold spot price actually did take a dump over the past week. And are we now going to start to see the rotation from gold into our digital gold, which is going to be Bitcoin? I do think we needed the commodities market to be topping out before we could see any relative strength in Bitcoin. Now, it doesn't mean that we don't lag this a little bit, and it doesn't mean that we're not maybe hovering around here at 80k, and we can dump down to the previous range highs, which was around 77k. So that still could come, guys. And when you do look at this chart, I mean, it doesn't look the healthiest right now. It doesn't look great. However, these things can reverse. So really, we'd like to see over the course of the next few weeks, remember this is the weekly chart, we'd like to see some sort of recovery in the Bitcoin chart. If not, then we really would want to see this range high being held at around 75k. It's between 70 and 75k as a key level of support. After we lose that level, then we can start to maybe flirt with the idea that, are we in a bear market? For now, we don't flip or pivot because the structure hasn't broken down yet. So no need to be getting ahead of ourselves on this, guys. But something to bear in mind, a lot of people are saying that we've decoupled. We haven't shown that we have decoupled yet by that V-shaped recovery. Hopefully that comes in the next week or so. Now, when you do come to Ethereum is looking like it's at a pretty good buy price. You know that on the channel, we did have targets between 1500 and 1300. However, when you do just zoom out for a little bit and you go to the monthly chart, you can see that we now are at a historical buying level. The 2-year MA buy signal pays the most in the months to come, and you can see here, right, we're at the lower areas of the RSI, we're at the lower areas of the trend line, and we've been through a monstrous correction of around 65% for ETH. So we're under 2k, we're basically at 1700, guys. This could be a great level to be picking up or DCAing into ETH. And again, we got our level at around 1500 to 1300, which I'll show you in a second. But what can hurt is the altcoins, guys, and that is because Bitcoin dominance continues to increase. This is the highest that Bitcoin dominance has been on the RSI in nearly 10 years, guys. So that is why this time feels a lot different, because there hasn't been an altcoin season yet. And maybe we do just need that final 10% in Bitcoin dominance, which we have rejected once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times before in the past 10 years, guys. Okay, so are we just trying to find our 71% dominance before the altcoin rally? Can happen in the later part of this year, at which point altcoins will all be down pretty much at a point where a lot of investors feel like they can't hold on anymore, because a lot of altcoins right now, compared to where they were at the previous highs at the end of the year, they're down like 60-70%. So that's why it does feel a lot different right now. However, if we are following the global M2 money supply for Bitcoin, then again, we could be in that expansion phase, and altcoins, whether you like it or not, will get dragged up with it. Now, will they reclaim the previous highs that they were at? I'm not too sure. I do think we need that money rotation still to come out from Bitcoin. We need to see ETH start to regain confidence in the market, and then that can bring up the rest of the market. Until then, it is still Bitcoin season, and maybe we need Bitcoin to start to pick up with the global M2 money supply. Another reason why we think that Bitcoin could be picking up pretty soon is because the beginning of this year, guys, or end of last year, there were pretty much nobody expecting rate cuts. Now the general consensus is, you know, between 1 and even at the higher end 8 or more rate cuts via poly market. Okay, so 3 seems to be the general consensus right now, maybe 3 or 4. If we do get those rate cuts, then that is going to really enhance the risk on environment. But in the short term, for now, short term meaning coming weeks to months, we still could be having some chop, and it makes the most sense to be revisiting that 79k target that we did have. You can see there's a lot of liquidity here at 81k. If we do go to a larger time frame, then you can see 81k, quite a lot of liquidity, but still below that, you know, not too much to be picking up. We've got some liquidity above our head at 86k and then at the 90s as well. So hopefully what we can do is reach our technical breakdown target of around 79k, and then that can be the lower high in place for us to start to sweep the liquidity above our heads at 90k. So again, ETH is at a very key level right now, as we've spoke about before. We have still got a technical breakdown target of around 1.3k. Okay, that is going to be the lower area of this larger descending channel. Okay, so 1618 target, 1.3k. Going to be nasty work if we do get there, guys, because it's still going to be another 26% to the downside. And then when we come to the total 3 chart, it looks like we want to print some sort of higher low. However, if we don't get the higher low again and Ethereum wants to continue its way down, that is going to bring down the total 3, guys. And if Ethereum can't hold its higher low structure in the chart, then the total 3 altcoin market cap probably will come down alongside it. Even though it is excluding Bitcoin and ETH, altcoins are going to lose a lot of confidence in the market. So right now, we still would like to be holding up that historical level between the 0.5 and 0.618 fib, which has been a time of max fear and capitulation. However, has historically been a time of max opportunity, guys. So again, we're going to have to see how the market does fare over the coming weeks to months. I do think coming into the end of April, maybe in May, with some possible rate cuts on the cards, could be a time for reversal, but it is now or never for the crypto market cap. So you guys let us know, what is your plan for your crypto portfolio? Have you capitulated? Are you buying more? Are you on the sidelines just waiting? All comments are welcome. And again, if you found anything in this video useful, you know what to do. Leave us a like, leave us a comment, click that subscribe button. We're going to see you in the next one.